Good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I like to greet you properly depending on what time you are listening to this. So, as I said on Tuesdays for a couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about time. And today, I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on the definition of time. What does time mean? And because my principles are biblically based, I'm going to give a Google or what do you call like a search type definition of time. And then I'm going to dive into what time means to the creator, how we should be applying time. But let me rewind just a little bit. So I hope last week you took some time to evaluate what you're doing with your time. Like, I hope you really sat back and thought about it. Like, all right, have I been wasting times in this area? Or should I have been doing this? Or, I hope you really took that time. And if you haven't, do that this week. It's not too late. It's never too late to evaluate where you are in life and how you're spending your time. So that's just a little bit of what we discussed last week of how we can find ourselves guilty of wasting time. And wasted time is more than wasted time. You can't get it back. But we'll talk about that in just a second. I'm going to first do what the world pretty much, I call the world anything outside of biblical principles for those of you that are watching me for the first time or hearing me for the first time. Anything outside of biblical principles is pretty much of the world. Um so of the world definition of time is the indefinite continued progress of existence, events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole. Example, travel through space and time. Then you also have an example of time as a noun, in addition to that first one, a point of time as measured in hours, minutes past midnight or noon. The time is, as in the clock. I'm pointing like there's a clock behind me, but it's not. But yeah, that's another form of it. And then the verb is a plan, schedule, or arrange when something should happen or be done. So kind of like a plan, a layout. Um Another one is measure the time taken by a process or activity or person doing it. Isn't it kind of cool to just really sit back and get the definition of time? Because when you don't understand something like we talked about last week, you don't know how to use it. You either abuse it or it's just not the move. So, me personally, when I read the definition of time in the world standpoint or outside of biblical principles, it's really confusing to me. I don't know if you're with me or not, but what I just read, to me, I feel that the world's trying to define time with the word time. I mean, yeah, that to me is kind of confusing, but that's why I love the word. That's why I stand on the word. That's why biblical principles to me are have been, well, I can't say have been, but they always have been in my world, but more so recently, they are life changing. Because as one of my mentors has said, Pastor R.C. Blake's, the word gets rid of confusion. So let's talk about time. And I also got some of these pointers and tips from the late Dr. Miles Monroe. And it's pretty awesome how time is defined in the word. So, let's see. One thing. I probably shared this a little bit last week, but this to me is what makes time so amazing once it's starting to be dissected in the word. It is something that we all have in common. Everybody has time in common. It's the common denominator amongst us all. It's a common gift, and it's cool when you just look at it that way. I just like to say that. But yeah, it's a common gift to all humans. The only thing I'm reading off of my notes, because I really wanted to make sure that this is watched and basically reviewed as a lesson. So if you don't catch it all right now, rewind it and watch it again, because this right here, understanding what time means, will help you change your life for real. Or you could already be changing your life, but this may be that extra boost to keep you motivated to stay living your life on purpose. So, the only thing on earth all humans have in common is time. What you are and what you become depends on how you use your time. Time cannot be stopped, but humans can control how it can be used. So we're starting to dig a little bit deeper into what time is. So there's 9 basically principles of time. Life is time. What is my life? What is my age? Life is defined as time. Life is measured in time. Life is determined by time. Life is lived out by time. Life is qualified by time. The passing of time is the passing of life. Life stops when time stops. Death, you move out of time and go into eternity. Time is temporary and life is eternal. So basically, time is life and life is time. Like, they go hand in hand. So what you do with your time is pretty much what you're doing with your life. That's how deep it is. And I just wanted to share this. After we go from Good Mood Mondays, it's time to be focused. So I want you all to remember that Tuesdays we focus on time management. We focus on getting our week back in order, or getting our days back in order, so that we can continue to fulfill the purpose that we're created to fulfill. And to understand what time is, it basically will teach you to stop wasting it. When you're doing something that you know is not taking you a step closer to what you were created to do, then cut that out. That's wasting time. And I'm not going to really be on here much longer, but those were more of like the principles of time, which kind of get into the importance of time. So there's 2 levels to it on the spiritual. So now we're going to talk about a little bit more. Like, I'm so excited about it. I hope that, whoever this is for, you're starting to take notes, you're starting to listen and understand more about life and your purpose for living, your purpose for existing, and why you can change your life and get in a better place. But yeah, let me get back onto this. So, time is an interruption in eternity. Isn't that deep? Like, life and death, in between life and death is time. That's how deep that is. Time is a small measure of eternity. It's not the whole thing, but it's just that part that you live. And you have the chance to make choices that can either push you to your purpose or separate you from your purpose. Time is a slice of forever. How you spend your time is literally a pinch of your forever in life. Time is the limited period during which an action or process exists and or takes place. It's deep. Like, time is everything. I say that it's like it's one of those things that you have to just start paying attention to, and it's going to help you. It really is. Time is the measurement of space. Time is the passing of existence. And there's a few scriptures, but one of the good ones that really help you dive more into what our God and Creator thinks of time is Ecclesiastes 3:10-12. I have seen the burden God has laid on me. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the hearts of men, yet they cannot fathom that God has done from beginning to end. As in, the plans for our life have already been created. We just have to line up according to time as we live our purpose. It's not that hard. And yeah, I mean, I pretty much am gonna leave it at that, because I don't want to get super, super deep, because I want you to spend time in the Word to research what time is, because it's personal. Just like your mission in your life, and if you're choosing to worship the same God as I do, your mission is to live your purpose, is to live your life on purpose. I'm sorry, I'm a little exhausted, but I'm exuding this energy because I'm very passionate about us understanding the importance of stop wasting time. Because if you keep doing what you did yesterday, your results are going to be just like yesterday. So, I'm taking this time as your life coach, as your friend, to say, look, start studying time. We're going to be doing this. I probably am going to do it for about 2 or 3 more weeks. I thought it may run into 2 months, but I'm not sure, because a lot of this study is for you to start getting in your word, to get you back to the basic principles in the word so that you can live a fulfilled life. And not only am I talking about your personal life, but of course I talk about, the business plans in your life, whether, you want to change your career, you want to change your life in the aspect of, receiving money. If you don't work, you don't eat. Everybody know that. So, but before you can really focus on that, you got to start getting your principles back in order. So I hope that this has helped you today. I hope it's going to take you into your Bible again, read your word, understand that wasting time is not something you want to be doing right now. Don't spend and you know what, this is also, I'm going to throw this little nugget in there real quick too, is that if you waste some time, don't stay there. Don't be like, oh man, I already did it today. I ain't even get what I was supposed to get done. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Okay, so what? Start now. Stop making excuses. That's an excuse. And it's not necessary. Like, seriously. But yeah, it's a happy Tuesday. You're gonna have a great day on purpose, and I'm throwing these nuggets out there about time so that you can concentrate on what you're doing with your time. Yeah, I said it again because I'm that serious. We winning together, right? Feel free to talk about it. Um, I'm hoping I'll have some time this week to do a bonus live where we can kind of chit chat together. But if not, please still feel free to continue to send me messages, and or you can make a comment in the comment section and we can talk about what you've learned about time, or give your pointers on what time means to you, because as you can tell, the definition within the world, it just sounds kind of confusing to me. But I also wanted to just talk about the quote that I shared today, one of the wonderful things about being alive is that it's never too late. And that's by Phyllis Whitney. Don't forget that. You're still living. You were in the land of the living. Make a decision today to be great. Like, seriously. I'm in the camera. But I really say this to say, like, you're living. You may not be in the position that you want to be in. However, you're breathing. And if you're breathing on tubes, you're still breathing. You're alive. You're in the land of the living. So while you're living, nobody can force you to do anything. You have the choice to make a decision. So I just wanted to talk about what is time. And again, if you are playing catch up, last week we talked about stop wasting time, why to stop wasting time. If you haven't done that step, do that step first. Concentrate on where you're wasting time. And now start to study week 2, where you're studying what is time. Define it. Start understanding it. I guarantee you, once you understand the importance of time, you're going to stop wasting so much of it. Trust and believe. As I say, we went in together. Oh, I've learned. I still ain't arrived. I'm still working on it in some areas. So I just wanted to share that with you so you don't feel alone. Yeah, it be heavy on your shoulders because you be feeling guilty because you're like, oh man, I just sat here 45 minutes. I could have got something done that was amazing. But no, the TV called me. Something that doesn't matter called me, as in an activity that I shouldn't even be worried about doing, or I got distracted. Watch your distractions. Those are time wasters. It will steal your time. If you know that what you're doing right now is not a part of your purpose, stop doing it. Like, seriously. But yeah, I'm about to start rambling. I wasn't going to be on here long. Just wanted to encourage you. Use your time wisely. You won't get it back. That's the only way I can really say it. Like, you don't get time back. Soon as you're done with this video, you don't get it back. Like, it's that deep. And that's how I feel about a lot of things that I do. And it starts to make me cherish time. It does. We'll talk a little bit more next week when we start talking about what to do now with your time that you've identified your weaknesses with wasting time. And now that you've learned more about time, we're going to start talking about what to do with your time. So until then, I hope you continue to have a great day. If you're not having one, what do I always say? It is not too late to start now. So, good day.